everybody, welcome back to another video, the T on NPD and relationships. Hey y'all, hello everyone. To all of my new subscribers and new family members, hello y'all, welcome. And to my tribe and family at large fam, y'all know what time it is. Welcome back. Thank you all so much for coming back and watching another video. Listen y'all, you know I'm always plugging that Thursday night live stream. Last night we had a powerful time. Good information, conversation. Listen, you don't want to miss that Thursday night live stream. This is where we go from healing to wholeness to boldness, all right? So I'd love to see you in the chat. Listen, jump in the chat, grab a snack, come on back and invite some folks to come back with you, all right? And y'all know every time we drop a video on the channel, the goal of the day is, the live stream is 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5 p.m., okay? Go read the comments in the live streams. Go read the comment under the comment section. I believe the comments will even bless you, okay? And listen, every time we drop a video on the channel, the goal of the day is 2.1K plus on the likes. Y'all know if you rocks with your girl, do what? Hit that like button, hit that like button, hit that like button. Y'all hitting that like button? Okay, I'm just checking. You know how I always do. Just doing a rocks with your girl check, okay? Just rocks with your girl. Do you rocks with your girl? Yep, just doing a rocks with your girl check. All right, y'all. So let's jump into the topic of this video. Okay, I want to talk about when the narcissist basically realizes that you are more than just supply. Okay, now most of the time when we talk about, supply in this community, we are talking about, the narcissist basically just seeing you as an appliance. So we're always, basically talking about, the narcissist just seeing you as an appliance, okay, as something that they use and, like a toy or whatever and throw it away. But the truth of the matter is that you bring so many components, or you brought so many components to the table for the narcissist at the end, okay, at the final discard. And that's usually done by you. Narcissists don't typically do a final discard. The narcissist comes to realize that you are more than just supply, okay? Now, when I say more than just supply, we're talking about emotion. Supply is emotion. It's what you give them, your energy, okay? And the other pieces of what you do is the additions that you bring to the table. Sometimes we like to lump supply into, basically, what you do for them or whatever, but that is, that comes in addition to what you bring to that energy table, I like to call it. That energy that they need from you, whether it's good energy or whether it's bad energy, that you supply them with that, okay? They need that constantly. And this is why they're always having you go from one extreme emotion to the other. 1 minute they might be cussing you out. The next minute they may be, doing something to make you really happy or whatever, because that emotional supply, which is, emotion is energy in motion. Okay. And so that emotional supply is what they need, because they lack that themselves, because you got to realize these are empty vessels. Okay, void of any true depth and substance to them. They have an ego, but that's about it. But the moment that they realize that you were just more, or actually you were more than just supply to them, y'all, narcissists do have a human aspect to them. They are like some methodical robots. I won't lie about you. They are. I ain't gonna lie. They're like some methodical robots. And when you see them in operation, they can literally sometimes look like just a droid. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the insanity on repeat. But they do have human aspects to who they are. And so it's in those human moments where they start to think about, now they don't have anybody to pack their lunch once you're gone. Okay. Now they don't have anybody to tell them that it's going to be okay. Have that validating conversation with them. Okay. Now they don't have anyone to basically give their emotional upheaval. They don't have anybody to emotionally upheaval on. Once you're gone, they don't have anybody to be that what they call the ATM machine. They don't have anybody to do that. Supply them with their gas money and all of that. Somebody to go and really be there to take care of the kids and to do what needs to be done and to make sure that the house is stabilized and make sure everything is in working order. All of those things are in addition to the emotional supply that you give a narcissist. Okay. Now, when they realize that you were more than just supply, or, you brought more to the table than just emotional supply, this is what actually causes them. Sometimes you will see them in those states where they're breaking down. And some people call it destabilization. But when a person, even including a narcissist, is used to an individual taking care of their everyday needs, because narcissists actually parentify you. Okay? They make you, if you were with a male covert narcissist and you're a woman that take care of your business, you will testify, I'm sure, in the comment section that bird parentified you. He basically made you his mother. You were responsible for all of the whatever, all of his emotional needs when he wanted to, when he wanted to come home and he needed an emotional punching bag. You were there for that too. You were probably managing the finances, because narcissists are horrible with that usually. Taking care of the kids, doing the grocery shopping, all of that stuff. All of that right there plays into the big picture, right? Yes, you brought the supply, the emotional supply to them. But baby, when they realize that all of those other things have walked out the door with you too, listen, this is where it gets real. This is where it gets real with a narcissist. And some of y'all, and I'm going to tell y'all, this right here is when you will sometimes get a call from the family, or some of y'all done got a call from the narcissist telling you that they was ready to unalive themselves. Okay? Yeah, it goes that deep. Okay? They'll call you promising you any and everything, because you got to remember, it's not just the emotional supply that you have pulled away. It's all of the other stuff that you brought to the table as well, that they were benefactors of. Not only them, but their family was too. So you were just like this, not even bringing something to the table. Forget that. You were the table. Okay? So when they see all of this has just walked out the door and they no longer have access to it, no longer have access to you, your emotion, all of the tangibles that you brought to the table, this is where you see them going to, they go to desperate measures. This is where you have seen them probably, they might have been a nice size when you were with them, but baby, you see them walking down the street and them britches is dusty and the pockets is touching in the back. I'm telling you, done lost all types of weight. You know what I'm saying? Might be on some type of substance or whatever, trying to cope with all that they have lost, because the emotional supply is a huge thing by itself. But then all of the other stuff that your table came with, baby, that right there. And then some of y'all done saw them where they was a nice size, they were healthy when you were with them. And now they, I told y'all before, they'll go and they done blew up to the size of 2 walls. They got them empty pizza boxes under the bed and everything else. Every time they look at your social media, they go over there and get them 3 pizzas and a Pepsi, 2 liter. Baby, they are up in there feeling it. And not only that, but the family is too, because that bird family that they got always got something going on. You was always putting out fires at your house and the bird family's houses too, because they always needed somebody with a level head to come in there and stabilize what was going on. Because if you've been around them for any amount of time, it's nothing but a repetitious loop of insanity. That's all it is. You couldn't even understand it. You would be sitting around looking at them, at this clan of crows, just like, I do not understand how y'all live like this. But that's the way that and it's comfortable to them. Yeah. It's comfortable to them because they're used to it. See, they're used to doing all of that. They're used to, being up against it, being not having things together and all of that. They're used to that. But you came in and you were that person that gave them that emotional supply that actually brought the table to them and showed them how a peaceful, logical life could look. And they will never forget that, ever. But baby, when that narcissist realizes that they lost more than just supply and that you were just more than supply, this right here breaks them down. And some of them, I've heard some of my clients and in the emails and in the comment sections on my different platforms, I've been told that sometimes a narcissist had to be put on a 72-hour hold because it broke them down like that. They had gone out and started, engaging in reckless behavior, driving, out of double OC, out of control, unfortunately having accidents and, wrecking cars and all of that and some people say they said the narcissist said they did it on purpose because they felt like they just felt that horrible. What do I have to lose? All of that. But I'm telling you, this is what happens when they know that, when they realize that you are more than just supply. It breaks them down. It brings them to a place of a sobering reality for a moment. Okay, they don't stay there, but for a moment. And then sometimes that moment is a long moment and they go through it. Y'all see them disappear off of social media. You see them go into hiding. You see sometimes the family go into hiding. They don't want to see you. They don't want to talk to you. Why? Because they feel like you are the reason why this is happening to them. Because they're not going to take accountability for that bird. And the bird is not going to do it either. But you need to understand that there are moments where the narcissist really realizes, okay, this person wasn't just making me feel good. They were making me look good. They were making me shine. You know what I'm saying? In the faces of others. And now that you're gone, that shine is dull and dreary. And they don't have half of the things and half of that swag that they used to have when they were with you. Because you brought the table to them. And all they did was brought you their fictitious world and that fake ego that they got going on. I'm going to tell you something. Let them just sit back and realize that. Let them come to that reality and to understand that, listen, they lost out huge. They don't stay in that mindset for very long. Let's be clear. But they never forget it. All right. So this is why you see them coming back and the family doing all of the stuff that they doing, because they realize this right here is a tough one. And so with that being said, family, I want you all to just really understand. Yeah, they can be some robotic monsters, but they do have human moments. And in those moments, sometimes they're long moments. This is what happens. All right, family. So you all take really good care of yourselves. That's not a ticket for you to go back. Please know that. Okay. Just because they're having a human moment doesn't mean that they stay in that moment. And that's not a reason for you to go back and subject yourself to more abuse. Because remember, they don't change. All right. So you all take really good care of yourselves, family. And I will see you all on the next video. And I will see you all healed and whole at the top. Shalom, family. Peace.